Hey friends, so today we are going to be learning about the volume of a rectangular prism. Um, Before break, we were talking about the surface area, total and lateral surface area of three-dimensional shapes. And if you remember, the surface area is the covering of a three-dimensional shape. So for example, if we have this cardboard box that's a rectangular prism, sorry, I'm trying to figure out how to get it in the camera. So the surface area is how much cardboard they use to make the whole thing. So what we are learning about now and shifting gears to is volume. And volume is what you need to fill the box. So that's what we're going to learn about today. So not the covering, but how much this box could hold if I stuffed it to its max capacity. All right. So the formula for a prism, because we will eventually learn about triangular prisms, but today you guys don't have to worry about that. We'll get into that in a few days. Also, just a side note, I'm getting used to writing with my trackpad instead of with like a stylus, so please bear with me on my handwriting and the time it takes for me to do it. Thanks. All right, so the formula we have is volume equals big B times H. Now we've seen area equals base times height, but it was a little b. The reason that this is the big B is because we're not just talking about the side length, we are talking about the actual area of the base. So going back to my box here, what we need to do is find the area of the actual base, and then you're going to multiply that times the height, which is the distance between the two bases. So if this is a base and if this is a base, you're going to multiply to find the distance between those two bases. So let's say that this is the base of my box or my rectangular prism, and that's what we need to find the area of. So since this is a rectangular prism, we talked about how you can identify what shape the base is based on the first name. So since this is a rectangular prism, the base is a rectangle. So the area formula for a rectangle is, this is what I'm talking about with the writing. All right, so we have our base is a rectangle. So I need to replace my big B with the area formula for a rectangle. And the area formula for the rectangle is base times height. So I'm going to replace this big B in my formula with base times height. And then we're going to multiply that once I plug it in. So if this is my current formula, V equals, I am taking out instead of this big B, and I'm going to replace it with this little BH because I'm replacing it with the area formula for my base. All right, and then this other H next to our big B, that is not just the height. We need to refer to that as the distance between the two bases. So like I was explaining, if this is a base, and if this is a base, and if this is a base, then our height, if it was sitting down, would technically be the distance between the two bases. Sorry about my videoing skills. Okay, so then we're going to multiply the area of our base times the distance between the two bases. So you could substitute that big B with that BH. And now we're going to practice using these skills. Okay, so here we have our rectangular prism. And I know it's hard to tell which one is the base. And I'll tell you right now, it honestly doesn't matter because I'm going to give you a little cheat at the end. So let's just say that this is our base. Okay? This is our base. So we're going to start off with our formula, V equals big B times H. And remember, big B stands for area of the base. So we need to replace that with our area formula for a rectangle. And the area formula, again, for a rectangle is base times height. So we're going to have V equals, replace it with base times height. So the base and the height of this shape, which is 3 and 1.5, base height. So if I drew this rectangle out down here, my base would be 3 and my height would be 1.5. All right, and then the H, the distance between the two bases, would be 2, because it's the distance from here to here. So here's our H, and then let's go ahead and plug in our numbers. So we have V equals 3 times 1.5. All right, and then times our height, which is 2. And all we're doing is multiplying these together. So 3 times 1.5 is going to give us 4.5. And then you're going to do 4.5 times 2, which is going to give you volume equals 9 centimeters cubed. And it is cubed because we are using all 3 dimensions to find our shape. I warned you guys ahead about my wonderful writing skills. All right, so that's great. It seems like a lot of steps, I know. So here's a little cheat that you can use. You guys could also use the formula V equals length times width times height, where all you're doing is taking your 3 numbers and multiplying them together, which if you look in this example right here is what we just did. So if I plug in my, let's just say my length is 3. It's really big, 3. My width is 1.5. And my height is 2. Then if I multiply 3 times 1.5, we still get 4.5. And then we're still doing 4.5 times 2. So it's literally the same thing. And if, let's say, you mixed up the numbers and you did 2 times 3 times 1.5, it doesn't matter, because since you're multiplying 3 numbers together, you're still going to get the same answer, which is the volume. Let me move this. The volume equals 9. So there you have it. It's really not super hard. You just find your 3 numbers and we multiply them together and hopefully have better drawings than me. All right, we just have one more example to bear through and then we will be done. If I can get us there. The next example that we have is a word problem, and this time we are going to be working backwards. So the problem gives us, they say, the volume of the rectangular prism is 639 feet cubed. So I recommend highlighting, underlining, taking out key pieces of information. So we already know the volume, so that's not what we're solving for. So we know that our volume is 369 feet cubed. So then they say that the area of the base is 71 feet squared. So they're not saying the base is, they're saying the area of the base. And if you remember earlier, I said that the big B represented area of the base. So they also give us our big B equals 71 feet squared. And what they are looking for is the height. So what is the height? So what I recommend you guys do, since we're working backwards, I recommend that you write out your formula. So we have V equals BH, and then we're gonna plug in what we know. And I'm sorry, I'm probably not gonna keep using pretty colors because it's taking forever, and I know you guys are over it. So we have our volume, which is 639, equals, we plug in the area of the base, which is 71, and then we need to solve for H. So in order to get H by itself, we need to do the inverse operation. So we need to split them up. We need to break them apart. So to do that, we need to divide. So we're going to do 71 divided by 639. And that is going to give you that H. So this cancels out. You divide these and you get H equals 9. Yay! You guys did it. Thank you for being awesome and hanging out with me. I promise to hopefully get better with the writing as time goes on. Good luck, you guys. If you have any questions, comments, concerns, please email your teacher. We are here. We are more than happy to help you. We miss you. Mean it. Goodbye.